Okay, there are my slides, and that's my first slide. And if you're ready, it starts with the statement that marketing is getting better. In other words, it's going to do a better job in the future. These are some of the books you know about because we mentioned them. But let me say, greetings, that I've known other direct selling companies. I know about Avon and Natura, but Amway is the world's largest direct selling company. And I already told you why I like direct selling over normal old fashioned retailing. And Amway manufactures and distributes nutrition and beauty and personal care and home products to over 100 countries. And South Korea Amway ranks number 3 among all the other Amways around the world. And also, it has its shops too to demonstrate many of its products. So, some observations. Please think of yourself in working for Amway that you are basically, yes, you supply products, but you are a supplier of value. And you're competing with other companies that supply value. You have to be good at creating, communicating, and delivering value. And most marketing has moved from the old level of mass marketing. You know, Coca-Cola still does mass marketing to segment marketing. But what's good about Amway is you're already at that third stage, individual customer marketing. And that means your people collect a lot of data about their customers. And they use the data to create moments of value and truth. And there are new tools, digital tools that can help you. So let's move on and make some more observations. Very important that Amway people balance high tech and high touch. You remember that famous book that came out, not just on high technology, but saying, don't forget high touch, being personal with your customers, as well as giving things in the best form. And you know, your selling system is exactly set up to deliver not just high technology, but high touch as well. And women make up 80% of your company. And remember that March 8th was International Women's Day. Today, 23 women now run global 500 businesses, including Walgreens, TIAA, Citigroup, ZVS, Health, Starbucks, etc. Isn't that impressive? And they should run half the companies eventually in the world. I'm impressed with other South Korean companies. I've worked for Samsung, I've worked for LG, Hyundai and Kia, and others in electronics, engineering, automotive, digital are really great companies. And of course, that means many Amway customers and family members work in these great companies too. And I know that Amway is digitally transforming its ordering system, very important, the payment system, and its digital tools. And that customers are growing in their interest in health and well-being. And so when you make your products and sell them, remember to train your people to provide useful information about living a healthier life and a happier life. Now, my thing about marketing getting better is you have a picture now of my 15th edition of Marketing Management. You know, I wrote the first book in 1967, and I had this funny experience with the CEO of a major company. He came up to me at a speech I was giving, in a live speech, and said, will you sign my book? So I looked at the book. It was my book. It was my 1967 book on marketing, not the one you see in the picture. And I said to him, are you using that old book? He said, oh, yes, sometimes problems come up and I read your book to see what it says about solving the problem. I said, but the book has no digital in it. The book doesn't have anything about customer lifetime value. The book has only 3 pages on branding. I mean, you need a new book. He said, well, I guess, are you trying to sell me a new book? I said, yes, but for your sake, because I'm in the 15th edition now, and you need the latest marketing. Marketing changes every few years. So I made the point. In fact, right now I'm working on a new book that will come out in the end of this year called Entrepreneurial Marketing. And it's a little different than professional marketing, because I have the feeling that professional marketers do a great job in selling what you made. That's your purpose. Sell what you made. Then you're a good professional marketer. But how about making some new things? How about creating new things you should be making? And that's all about entrepreneurial marketing and creating a set of entrepreneurial marketers in your company who come up with new ideas. If you look at how marketing has passed through stages, you know that early marketing was very rational. This is my product. It is very good. People say it is good. It is priced at $10. Buy it, period. What a rational statement. Yes, but it's kind of a cold statement. And what we realized is more buying today, and traditionally, is emotional, not just a response to a rational message. And those who understand that, and by the way, this also applies to business marketing. Even a business firm selling to another business firm, there will be emotions in the part of the seller and the buyer. I have no doubt about that. Now, Marketing 3.0 came out about well-being marketing. Your mission is to create well-being. And then when 4.0 came out, mission was to get you to go digital, move from traditional to digital. And the book you cared about recently is 5.0, which said we need new technology to help us help improve humanity. So this is a simple way of looking at 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 marketing. Look at 1.0. Ask yourself, is marketing for you all about mind, all about the product, all about just economic value, and all about profits? That's the old model. Yes, it worked. But I think it would work better if Marketing 2.0 was being exercised. That marketing comes from your heart, your care for the customer, your care for people in general, and that you want social progress. That's a more enlightened view of marketing. It's even more enlightened if the Marketing 3.0, the whole spirit is about helping people, values, about the environment as well, and creating more human happiness. So one has to think about the type of marketing they're going to be doing. Now, here's the thing. I want to move forward. You know, marketing has become quite technical. I don't think I want to go into any great details, but you may have heard that that when you start your marketing program, you don't start with the 4 P's: product, price, place, and promotion. You start with the 4 A's. You ask, here is someone who might be a customer. Is she aware of our product? Is she able to find where to get it? Does she accept our product? Can she afford our product? Those 4 A's must be first established. And when they rank high awareness, high accessibility, high acceptability, and affordability, then that's going to be a good customer. Then you use your product, price, place, promotion to back that up. And always remember, the players are for your company, your customers, your collaborators who work with your company, and your competitors. And you're going to do your segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So there's a whole process. It comes up every time you're doing your new plan. And it should start with marketing research. Where are you? What do you know about the customers and the competitors? And then it leads to segmentation, targeting, positioning. Then to choosing your target market. Then to offering a statement to your target market called the value proposition. And then building all that into your marketing plan. And then implementing your marketing plan successfully. And then to know whether you were successful, do C, which is control. Get feedback to see whether you've met your goals and your objectives. Okay, everyone listening to me knows that this is the basic marketing text. You could ask, well, what's the purpose of marketing in these strange times? Now, a good, big, long-winded definition that you might say is your company's proposition to make and sell products and services that are attractive and appropriate to different consumers who have different preferences and incomes. Very good. A shorter definition. The purpose is to create, communicate, and deliver value that satisfies a target market's need or desire at a profit. You know, I've used symbols for that. CCDVTP. Create, communicate, deliver value to a target market at a profit. I would add also to innovate new and better products and services and create new markets. That's a higher purpose. And a much higher purpose is to create higher well-being for people, better lives for people. So when you get them down to it, there's 4 things that any salesperson at Amway has to do. 1, to get customers, find them, get them. 2, to keep customers, coming back again and again. 3, to grow each one. Sometimes you do upselling. You create a better version of a product that they've been buying. Or you do cross-selling. You get them to buy additional products that you make. And then you lose some customers, but don't give up. You may be able to win them back. Those are the 4 big tasks, and salespeople need to be trained in those 4 tasks. Remember, today's consumers are so smart. They have smartphones. They can answer on their phone millions of questions. They can check your prices and competitors' prices, and even check reviews of competing products. And customers are going to do that. So you can't fool any customer. They know the price of the other products too that are competing. So you have to, as Amway, equip your salespeople with detailed information about the customers, and even put on their phones demonstrations of products and superior processes on their mobile phone. And please remember that we have at least 4 generations. The people who run companies and the top managers, they're baby boomers. They were born a long time ago. They're older people now. Generation X, who are they? Well, they're the people probably managing a lot of people and employees. Generation Y are the people who grew up who were born 1981, but they're now in their 20s, and you want to attract them. They're your future buyers. And then the youngest group is now out of college, basically. I think they're the centennials, but they're very young. And they're a little different than the millennials, but both of those generations differ from the earlier generations in 3 ways. And each generation grows up with different world events. For example, the baby boomers grew up with World War II. You know, the music was different. The movies they saw were different. There were different social movements. Very different for generation Y and Z. I mean, they're in a different world than the baby boomers world. So every generation has different preferences toward products and brands and services. And and as you think about it, we got to shape our offers to the generation that's involved. What we do know is that millennials and centennials share three values. They want a better balance between work, family, and friends, not all work. Two, they are concerned with the environment. They grew up hearing that we must worry about pollution, bad water, bad air, bad soil. So they're concerned with the environment. And they also are concerned with problems of hunger, of poverty. They're different than the older generation. And they want your company to be liberal and to take up some causes and so on. And always remember that your consumers are ready to search their phone for best prices. I mean, 71% of consumers will search their firm. 77% also want a personalized experience in their digital purchasing. In other words, that they don't get at a retailer, at in a supermarket where you go, you face shelves. So, but Amway develops a personalized experience. This is a good chart found in Marketing 5.0, and it uses something we created as the 5 stages of being a consumer for Amway. Helping people become aware of Amway, helping them find Amway appealing, realizing they have questions about Amway. They will ask those questions and you will answer them in a good way. They will have enough confidence to make their first purchase from Amway. And if they're really happy, they make a second or third purchase. They become an advocate. Hopefully they become a fan of Amway. They're proud to say to their friends, you ask where I got this product, this skincare product, I got it from Amway. They actually become net promoters. They become your marketers. You know, your best customers are always doing the marketing work for you. If all of your customers were advocates, you would need to spend nothing on marketing. All of it would be done by your advocates, your fans. Anyways, what this diagram also does is show the tools at the different stages. For example, the advertising is the first tool, and it's very powerful in creating awareness, appeal, and answering questions. Content marketing is similar. It adds some extra content that wasn't asked for. And then you start using direct marketing, because that allows you to know more about what the customer has already bought from you and what the customer may be ready to buy from you. So direct marketing is the next stage. And then sales CRM, customer relationship marketing. You move into a stage where any customer can call the salesperson and get questions answered, and the salesperson knows a great deal about each customer. And finally, you make every distribution channel work for you. So it's easy for your customers and advocates to always get an easy way to find your product. You've even put some of your products possibly in vending machines, or you put some of your products in gas stations or whatever. But you created a good distribution system. Now, in new marketing, here are some important concepts, and I hope you're doing all of them. AI stands for artificial intelligence. In other words, the use of social and digital tools, namely Facebook and Google and Instagram and TikTok and so on. I hope you're using these. You know, Procter & Gamble told me, and some work I did with them, that they turned a lot of their budget from being mass marketing budget to social media budget. And then they ended up reducing their social media budget. It was necessary to overspend on social media to learn which media works and to stop using the media that was tried that isn't working anymore. So Amway too will use all the social media, spend money there, and maybe conclude that some was wasted, but that was good knowledge because now you won't use the ones that didn't work for you. You're also going to try to use big data, gather a lot of customer data, and then use what is called machine learning to develop equations that show the importance of different variables in influencing customers to buy. You know, the role played by their education, their income, their lifestyle. You end up with regression equations that show what really moves customers. And I hope you're going to be using the what we call virtual reality to test some new product ideas. You know, you don't have to make a new product to test it. You can design it on the computer and you can make a virtual experience out of it where the customer actually says, yes, I'm willing to see your film on that new product. I know you haven't made it, but you're giving me an idea of what it would be like. And then by a vote taken after their exposure, if you find that most of them got very excited about that packaging and product, you say, great, I'm going to make it now. Much better to do it that way than to make it and find out there was no interest in it. And the metaverse, I shouldn't say multiverse, is some work you're doing. And please pay attention to the new currencies like that are now appearing. They're very speculative. We don't know whether they're going to keep growing in value or not. But this whole new blockchain is something you want your finance people to know about, blockchains and these new currencies. Remember this, your customers are being contacted by your salespeople, and there's a journey taking place. Every time a customer calls one of your salespeople who they know, they're on a journey for another product that you make. And you want to study what journeys customers of yours are making and map these journeys. And along the way, it's usually touch points that occurred during the journeys that made a difference. It was a certain ad that they saw. It was the care they got from a certain salesperson at a certain touch point. Your company, Amway, has to be at all the touch points that matter in the customer's journey toward purchase. And also, you please, when you're sending communications to your customers, use their language, not your language. The language used by a millennial. Well, let's put it further. There are low-income people, middle-income people, high-income people. Their languages are different. So if you have something to sell to more high-income people, the words you're going to use are going to be different. Those words would sound stilted, artificial. They won't even understand some of those words if you direct them to low-income people. So you got to develop a picture of the person you're communicating to, the age, the income, the education of that person. And also make sure you offer nice information to people about helpful in their lives, about content that they would be interested in, things happening in the world, things that where they should use to lead a better life. So anyways, those are some of the features of the new marketing. And then these new technologies, voice, well, I hope your people can get, we call it Siri. Siri is what you can get if you have an iPhone. You could ask Siri any question and she can answer you what the weather is and who is Talleyrand or who is Emperor Joseph. I mean, they know everything. And there's another one called Alexa for other purposes. But facial recognition, should you need to have pictures of the faces of your customers? Maybe your salespeople have their pictures. Maybe if we saw a person on Facebook, on FaceTime, I mean, and we're seeing them on FaceTime, we can tell a lot about their mood from their face. Now, chatbots are often pieces of software that are set up to explain a new product. You could put any question to the chatbot about the new product. What's it priced at? And the chatbot would say, oh, it's priced at X dollars. What happens when how long does that product work before I have to give it to put it in disposal? And chatbot will answer all those questions. You hope that you might have some virtual agents while you're asleep as a marketer. You can't market 24 hours a day. Things are happening. Your competitors are doing things. So have you set up some virtual agents? And are you automating some of your marketing? You know, there are some routine things in marketing that ought to be automated so you don't have to put any time into them. I want you to watch very carefully what's happening to bioscience and gene editing in the future, and also neuroscience. If someone comes up to you and says, I'd like to join Amway, I'm a neuroscientist, you might say, what's that? Are you a social scientist? Are you a sociologist, a psychologist? No, I am a neuroscientist. So what do you know? I know a lot of how the human brain works. My specialty is brain science. And therefore, I can probably help you compose better communications because we know how people interpret communications they receive. Okay, these are some technologies that are coming into greater use. Watch your competitors, by the way. Always ask which competitors are growing, which are declining, what new ones are entering. Watch out for that. Watch out for what we call the disruptors who come with a lower price and maybe a poorer offer, but they grow until they become better and they compete. How do you rate your competitors as value suppliers? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How can Amway be creative and innovative? And I mean by that more creative and more innovative. 4 things. Hire marketers and sales personnel who have new ideas, who finds it easy to have new ideas and can think out of the box. There are some salespeople who do a wonderful job, not with any new ideas, they just end up selling very effectively. But you need some people who say, why can't Amway sell? No, I'll give you an absurdity. Why can't Amway make a car and sell a car? Well, there's good reason it shouldn't. But what other new ideas do you have that it could make and sell? You want people like that. And you want to celebrate the new ideas that you already got from your employees. Please celebrate them. Show that you listened. Give them commendation on and thanks for those ideas. Also anticipate changes in our society, in our economy, our politics, our legal system, our social and cultural and technology systems, because they're all going to affect your customers and your products. And finally, ask your customers themselves on how you can improve your service to them. You know who does a good job of that? Starbucks. Starbucks has a system where they ask the ones who just drank their coffee and had the experience in their store, could we do better? How? What can we do better? I want to say this too. A company's assets are misunderstood greatly. Because if I said to you, what are your assets as Amway? You'd say your physical plant, your equipment, and your inventory. And you wouldn't be wrong. Problem is, you're only describing your physical assets. But the more important assets you have are your intangible assets, your employees, and the extent to which they care about your company is your asset. Your customer base and the extent to which your customers care about your company. Your channel partners who also supply things for you that you need. Agencies and so on. Your intellectual capital, how the quality of your intellectual capital. And your brands. Wow, brands are capital. You just name Amway makes this, and it should have great resonance. So I'm almost finished. And in our talk together, we mentioned H2H, the new book on human-to-human marketing. I want to show you this chart. We must avoid 3 types of bad marketing, okay? One is called wasteful marketing, things that were a waste. You didn't have to do it that way. 2, inane marketing, silly things that you did, you thought they were going to work, but they were inane. They didn't even fit the customer's mentality or interest. Unethical marketing, anything done that is not ethical. You don't want to be exposed ever for doing anything that's cheating the customer, because you want your marketing to be H2H marketing, decent human-to-human marketing. So winning at marketing, here are some points in summary. Win through marketing creativity plus digital knowledge and processes. 2, use customer journey mapping, touch point marketing, personas, content, and influencers. 3, use virtual reality to gauge a buyer's interest in possible future products. 4, use neuroscience tools to identify best stimuli to use. 5, use predictive analytics and machine learning to identify the customers and their needs. And I conclude with this. Don't just advertise the brand. You have a great brand. Live it, and you are living it. Thank you very much for your questions that we answered first, and for taking the time to see my organized ideas on doing better marketing. Thank you very much.